I'm Pati and welcome back to A Small Geeky Chica Figures. Today we're continuing with our Nendoroid Collection video with entry number 46, Nendoroid number 877, which is Rey from Star Wars. So this is the third Star Wars Nendoroid we're seeing. We saw Princess Leia from the original trilogy, and the last time we saw BB-8 from the sequel trilogy. And so today we're continuing with Rey, who's also from the sequel trilogy, which regardless of controversy with the sequel trilogy and it really not being my favorite, I do enjoy Rey as a character, so I did want to get her Nendoroid. I think this is, I forget if this came out around the time after The Force Awakens, the very first of the three movies, when there was still a lot more hope for the series. But I think she's super cute as a Nendoroid, and she comes with her lightsabers, and I really like her outfit. So, and she really goes with the BB-8 that I have, even though to scale, they're not quite right, because BB-8 is pretty much the same size as her, when in reality he should be like really tiny. And I kind of wish they had made maybe a little teeny tiny BB-8 to be here with her, but I bet with some photos you can do some forced perspective and make it look like BB-8's really tiny and next to her with stuff to play around with. But yeah, let's get right out of her box and take a closer look. Like many of the other Star Wars we've seen, let's take a closer look at this backdrop. So this looks like the planet where she goes find Luke in the second movie, so maybe this is a little bit more from the second movie. It's been a while since I watched them to be able to tell with her outfit, but yeah. It is a very cute backdrop, so I was easy to do photography. But let's put it away and then take a look at Rey and her blister. Okay, we have a very, very simple Nendoroid right here. Oh, let me move it to the middle so it's easier to see. She only has one extra faceplate, her lightsaber, and one for it in motion, and then her two extra hands. But it seems like, unlike Micah, who we saw last week, Rey is more of the action figure type of Nendoroid where her joints bend, similar to Marth and like Deku, are other ones we've seen this way. And instead of having her stand in a little baggie in the back, it looks like they actually made a little section for her here. But before we take her out, as always, let's take a quick look at her little booklet with instructions showing all her parts. And right here it tells you how to attach her lightsaber when it's in action and doing streaks of light, or when it's just singular. But yeah, she has her extra hands, the lightsaber, her face, the joints, and the stand, and that's pretty much it. She's a very, very simple in terms of amount of parts. So let's get her out of this blister and take a look. It's a very interesting blister because it's, instead of being like halfway, it's actually all the way down. That was a little trickier than I thought it was going to be, but we got her out. Let's take a look. To be honest, I don't remember if I've actually taken her out or done any photos with her. I know I did it with BB-8, I think some others, but I don't know if I've taken Rey out of her box. I must have at least once, because her face isn't wrapped in plastic like Micah last week, or Claus the few weeks before. But yeah, she has her smiling face and then her serious, more actiony face. And go back in there, and then like I was saying, she has more of that kind of action figure type where her joints bend, and yeah, it's kind of stiff, probably because I haven't really taken her out very often. But her like shoulder joints are pretty nice and loose, so they're easy to move. It's just the elbow can be a little more stubborn, but it holds the position better that way. Her knees also bend, as well as her feet. Hopefully you can see that. These parts kind of get in the way a little bit when you're trying to do poses, but I think theoretically you should be able to. She's kick. Okay, enough of that. But yeah, there's not much else to her in terms of that. Let's look. These hands do not hold lightsabers, so I'm assuming one of these hands do. Let's see. Where is the edge of that plastic that's protecting those pieces? Right there. So this one is kind of more of another style of open palm hand, which is using the force. But this one is definitely the one that holds the lightsaber. Right there, you can see a little space for it there. So let's take it out. Again, where is the edge of the plastic? It's all the way over there. Okay, let's see if we can find the edge over here. Yeah. Let's see, take it out. Okay, so how does she hold it? Let's take a look at the box. So it's definitely supposed to be held higher up. Okay. Like this? How do I put this in? Does it just fit in there? Yeah, I guess you just kind of nudge it in there. Looks like it's fully gripping it. I think it's actually supposed to be a little bit more like there. That looks like it's in. So let's swap out her hands so she can hold the lightsaber. Oop. And there she goes. She's ready to kick some ass. Ba, 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 ba. Very cute. Does her tail move something? Yeah, so you can wiggle that. I just, like always, be careful because they do snap off if you're like being gentle. Her hair is very cute. Oh yeah, let's pick a pose to put her in. One seems kind of serious. Maybe we'll do that one so we can swap out her face. This one's when she's in motion, but sometimes I don't usually like to do this for my pictures. Yeah, and it's not showing me very many other poses as well. So let's try to get her into this one. Okay, so for that, we're going to have to swap out her face. I don't have as much to say about this Nendoroid. So, her bangs. Her face came out pretty easily. No struggle there. Go into your spot. And then, and I don't know. Trying to decide which hand it is. It might be this hand, but it could also be that hand. It's not really, you can't really tell very well based on this picture. At least I can't, which hand it is. Let's just swap it out for the heck of it. Because I don't think there's that much of a difference between them, to be honest. They look very, very similar to each other. Okay, let's see. She has her leg a little bent out, and this one's a little more out to the side. Her arm is up and like... bends a little, like. I don't know, a little like that. And this one seems like it's kind of straight out. And this leg should be straight, and her foot should be with a flat. So hold on. Something like that, I think. There. Make this foot look forward. Yeah. What do you think? I think that's probably as good as I'm gonna get it today. Probably mess around with the foot a little bit more so we have stability, but there we go. That is Ray. And with this hand, you could probably swap it out with a bunch of different Nendoroids that have longer arms like that. You might be able to use some of Micah's arms as well, maybe, to make it look a little funky that you have like a bare arm and then a separated little hand, but I think it should be fine. You should be able to use it with your Nendoroid dolls, so that's another option. But yeah, that is Ray, Jedi, and she's ready to kick some ass. Keep fiddling with her lightsaber hand, but yeah, there we go. She doesn't come with a lot of parts, like I've said, but they are more posable in their joints. But that is it for today. If you enjoyed today's video, I hope you considered liking and subscribing or leaving a comment. I post videos every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. They can be Nendoroid Collection videos like today's, or sometimes blind box unboxings. I also run a stationery shop, asmallgeekychica.com, with a corresponding YouTube channel. So if you like stationery and like stickers and washi tape and sticky notes, stuff like that, go ahead and also check my stationery YouTube, which is A Small Geeky Chica. Otherwise, I hope to see you next week where we'll continue on with our Nendoroid Collection video, or maybe a blind box unboxing. We shall see. Till next time, bye bye.